Let's move on to our third topic today, and this one is kind of an interesting aspect, and this is Papa John's shares actually rise after the former CEO exits, being John Schnatter. And John Schnatter, of course, this has been, a struggle for him with his brand when he was booted out for unusual reasons. Obviously, the board took control, and the struggling of the chain itself really has shown up in the stock prices and things of that nature. But they've reached a settlement, and the settlement is the one that I think is more important. And that's that John Schnatter has to exit off the board. So basically this would end any relationship he has with the brand and kind of his public battle that has really been the case, where he's kind of, claimed that he was ousted, both unceremoniously, but not really not due to be ousted as the CEO. But here's what's interesting. His shares soared 11% after he left as the chairman. So this is kind of I guess a bittersweet thing, because it increased his net worth $50 million. He currently owns 30% of this stock, and I think this is a big issue as we start to see Papa John's turnaround start to occur. Now, the company said it would cooperate with Schnatter. They're going to find a mutually acceptable independent director who would not be affiliated with the activists, and basically that person would integrate with the Starboard value and their whole approach toward running the business. And when you look at where Starboard is going, if you look at their chief executive, Jeffrey Smith, as its chairman now, Smith is the one that was credited with turning around Olive Garden, which is the parent company over at Darden Restaurants. So I think there are some potential opportunities here for Papa John's to get back in the pizza game and really kind of position the brand for growth. We will see some interesting aspects to this, and I think one will be the fact that their stock performance is doing much better, or at least in the short period that this announcement took place. The stock was trading like at $45, and if you look at the last 5 days, or the 5 days post the announcement, the stock started moving up, and just in a few days had already escalated to almost $46 a share. So there are some things that I think are happening here at Papa John's that could correct them in the pizza category. They were at one time one of the top 3 leaders. Obviously, some of the challenges that John Schnatter faced and the chain itself in terms of just the issues that the chain ran into, it really started to kind of change the direction of where that pizza business was going. And I think when you look at a franchising business that is really affecting a lot of different companies, meaning the franchise companies that put faith in a franchisor like Papa John's, you're putting kind of your entire life savings in some cases on the line. It's very important that the management and the CEOs and the team behind it are there to make sure that they're making it a better opportunity for those people to, of course, improve on their investments. So it's a big deal. I think that Schnatter is stepping out, and I think it's one of those situations that's only going to be good for the brand. And I can't wait to see kind of how Papa John's comes around, and whether or not the Starboard CEO and chairman can really kind of reposition the brand. There's been a few of these moves recently when you look at L's with Chipotle and what's happening now with their new CEO. That brand has started to recorrect. We've started to see some mergers in the space. There's a lot of activity going on here in the restaurant sector in 2019. And I think we will continue to see these kinds of moves, especially in the strategic aspects of publicly traded brands like Papa John's. So we're going to wrap up for today here on the Barron Report. Of course, if you have not had a chance to check out all of our new podcasts, we've got a ton of them. Food Out Loud is now several episodes in. We have a new show, Chef AF, with Jim Berman. We also have just released a new podcast, Emerging Brands, which used to be behind our Foodable Plus program, and it's now available for you online at foodabletv.com. Just hit shows on the top tab, drop into Emerging Brands, and of course, you can always check those out on iTunes and also on Spotify. Make sure and leave a comment if you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify, or maybe you're watching this on our website or over on YouTube. We'd love to get your feedback if you have any ideas for great show ideas, or maybe an executive or a topic that we should be covering. Make sure and send those ideas to producer@foodabletv.com. And of course, you can hit me up on Twitter @Paul Barron. It's been great talking to you guys today. We'll catch you on the next Barron Report.